the one to watch. This is 16 WAPT News live at 5.
A 69-year-old woman targeted, shot, and robbed in Belhaven. The clues police say they're tracking tonight. Plus, Europe on alert with a massive terror manhunt. And day 2 of the deep freeze. Broken pipes and roads iced over, plus several schools shut down. Well, that freeze warning still in effect tonight. Our cameras caught the big fountain at Thalia frozen over, but you can see still spouting water. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist David Hartman with your weather first.
Well, I was just talking with Megan. Rare, 13 degrees this morning, and that was the low at the airport. That's the coldest we've been since January 24th of 2003, and before that, we did it in 1996, and then before that, 1989, so it doesn't happen that often. Just want to briefly mention tomorrow morning, still the threat of some light precipitation coming in. Bridges and overpasses could be a little icy. I'll address that coming up.
Okay, David, thank you. The deep freeze today is causing all kinds of problems, Tammy.
Yeah, that's right, Megan. As 16 WAPT's Allie Ware reports, it left pipes busted and roads frozen over.
The deep freeze overnight caused some major problems. We caught this water line break early at Woodrow Wilson and Jackson. A major road turned into an icy mess. And while crews tried to repair it, another pipe explosion left even more water frozen along the road. The drivers we talked to were aggravated.
It's in bad shape down here. We ain't got this kind of stuff down in Gator City.
Another water line break shut down part of Gallatin Street right in the middle of morning rush hour.
It's crazy. One day it's, just super wet, and the next day, boom, it's the ice capades out here.
We are prepared.
Jackson City officials say they're on alert for even more problems.
Well, certainly the cold is a challenge for us because we're often out overnight and we're trying to address most of the major breaks and leaks overnight so that services are not impacted to businesses or residents.
But it wasn't just Jackson and Ridgeland, more pipe problems. Another frozen road along Highland Colony Parkway. And in Flowood, city crews had to help clean up a mess when a sprinkler system malfunctioned and left the sidewalks along Old Fannin in a layer of ice.
So you're looking for this cold snap to end quick?
Yes, ma'am. So
in Jackson, Allie Ware, 16 WAPT News.
And we just got an email from the city of Jackson saying that Woodrow Wilson repair is finished. Well, lots of you have been sending us your cold weather pictures. Our viewer, Brad Cooney, sent these in. It shows the grass and trees in his yard covered in frost. He says he left his sprinkler system on. Don't forget to send us your pictures. Just upload them to the You Local section of WAPT.com, and you might actually see them on one of our newscasts. Well, the cold weather caused a big problem for several schools, Megan.
Absolutely, Tammy. The McLaurin district in Rankin County shut down today because of a power outage. You can see in our video, not a soul in sight there. The building's dark at both the McLaurin Elementary and high schools. And in Warren County, power outages forced school leaders to relocate 1,200 students. Vicksburg Junior High and Warren Central Junior High were both in the dark today. The school transferred half the students to Vicksburg High School. The others spent most of the day at Warren Central High School while crews worked to restore the power and get the heat back on at those buildings.
The children, they know something's different going on. Of course, the junior high students being out of place, but the high school students also know that there's something different going on in the building, just trying to keep the elevation of curiosity and surprise of a different day of operation. But I think it's worked very well.
Crews got the power back on late this morning. Students were not allowed to return to the schools until after those buildings warmed up. And cold classrooms at Wingfield High School. JPS leaders say something triggered the heat to go out in parts of the building overnight. They moved students to classrooms that did have heat, and they fixed the problems there by early afternoon. But of course, not everyone can stay out of the cold all day. We found construction crews hard at work on I-55 near Sidewell Road in Byram. You can see them bundled up and standing around that fire doing their best to keep warm. If you need to be outside in this weather, experts say you should dress in layers. AMR has several ideas on what you should wear to survive the cold. We have all of those pictures in the slideshow section of WAPT.com. The cold temperatures kept things icy near the convention center as well. The sidewalks still iced over around noon today. And of course, David, everyone is asking how long this freeze will last.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, areas just to the north of the metro area never got above freezing today. We did for 3 hours here in Jackson, but below freezing already. Yeah. So 40 hours below freezing for our northern viewers. Carthage, Kosciuszko, up towards Yazoo City. Tonight, lows 22 to 26, and we have the threat tomorrow of some light rain and sleet coming into South Mississippi. There'll be a reinforcing shot of chilly air coming in tomorrow night. Oh. The lows tonight, not bad, middle and upper 20s, but right through the weekend, we will be cold next week. Chilly, but not as cold. Some good news there.
It sure is. Remember, you can stay up to date on the freeze warning at our website, WAPT.com. We will keep you updated with any new alerts, closures, or any new cancellations. We are learning more tonight about a woman shot during a Belhaven robbery, Tammy.
Yeah, that's right, Megan. Her boyfriend tells us that gunman shot her twice, and she has a bullet lodged in her spine tonight. Well, the 69-year-old has already undergone 2 surgeries. Today, we found detectives walking down Euclid Avenue where it happened, looking for clues. The shooting happened last night around 7 o'clock. Connor McAllister says he was waiting for his girlfriend to get home when he heard the shots.
You said you were cooking dinner.
Yeah.
What happened?
I heard 2 gunshots. She was due here at 6:30. I heard 2 gunshots. I came out the front door, saw 2 kids running down the street. I grabbed my 9mm pistol off the counter and came back out here.
Yeah, police are looking for 3 suspects tonight who were driving a maroon Impala last night. And a manhunt underway for several people. Police say robbed a gas station this morning. Take a look right here. We have the suspects in our monitor. Take a good look at these men. Detectives say surveillance video shows the 2 men walk into the Fuel Time gas station on Bullard Street with a gun. They demanded money from the cashier. Then they left the scene in a 4-door red vehicle. If you can help police, call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. Well, a major drug bust in Rankin County. Deputies confiscated 17 pounds of cocaine. Investigators say they pulled a red truck over for a traffic violation on Interstate 20. That's when deputies found the drugs. Deputies arrested the driver, Adrian Rojas James. Now, the value of the cocaine is about $250,000. New details tonight in the investigation against the mayor of Terry. Megan.
Tammy, the state auditor's office says they served Roderick Nicholson with a demand for almost $57,000. We were the first to tell you about this investigation back in April. Nicholson repaid about $24,000. Now the state wants the rest of the money. We reached out to the mayor, but so far we have not yet heard back. Europe is on alert with a massive manhunt for the terrorists who massacred 12 people in one French newspaper. 16 WAPT's Sally Kidd is live in Washington tonight with the latest on the search. Sally.
Well, good evening, Megan. At least 9 people who are close to the 2 suspects have been detained for questioning as thousands gather around the world to remember the victims. In the City of Lights, the Eiffel Tower went dark in honor of those killed and wounded in the terrorist assault on Charlie Hebdo. Earlier in the day, crowds gathered in Paris to observe a moment of silence. Bells of Notre Dame tolling in honor of the victims.
I would like to urge French people to remain united against the terrorist barbarism and against the threats it represents.
From Bosnia to Belarus, Australia to Istanbul, rallies in support of freedom of expression. In Washington, mourners left flowers and notes at the French embassy.
The note says, "On est tous Charlie," which is everybody's Charlie.
Officers converged on a town northeast of Paris where 2 men resembling suspects Sharif and Saeed Kouachi had robbed a gas station. Police say they were able to identify the brothers from an ID left behind in a getaway car. This video from about 10 years ago shows the younger brother, Sharif. A French court convicted him of terrorism in 2008 for ties to a jihadist recruitment pipeline.
It reminds us that the terrorist threat is still very real for this country as well as for other Western nations.
French authorities are concerned about the possibility of another attack.
We are ready to face it. We will fight. And fighting is aiming these people, getting them to jail.
Now, in response to the attack, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder is heading to Paris this weekend for meetings on countering the terrorist threat. Live in Washington, Sally Kidd, 16 WAPT News. Megan.
Okay, Sally, thank you. A presidential disaster declaration for the areas damaged by tornadoes December 23rd. President Obama ordered federal aid to help in the recovery efforts. The tornadoes destroyed dozens of homes and businesses. 5 people died. A Madison County judge accused of attacking and screaming racial slurs at a mentally disabled man will run for his position again. Justice Court Judge Bill Weisenberger voluntarily stepped down from the bench in June. State law allows you to run as long as you aren't convicted of a felony. The DA, Attorney General, and Canton Police are all investigating the claims against Weisenberger. New tonight, bond denied for the father charged with murdering his baby, Ryan.
That's right, Megan. Detectives arrested 20-year-old Jerry Alexander Keys yesterday. Now, police say his son, 9-month-old Corey Keys, died Sunday on Evans Drive. They say he had several injuries, including a fractured skull. And a family is left without a home tonight. Take a look at the flames. Those flames ripped through their home on Greenmont Drive just off of Highway 18. Now, we were there as the flames tore through the walls of the house. The homeowner says he was in his garage working on his car when he heard his neighbors warned about the flames.
Looking out my kitchen window, I heard a loud pop, so I thought it was maybe a gun or something. And when I looked out there, I saw this big flame from the car that's in the back. You can replace a house, vehicle, material things, but you cannot replace a life. Yeah.
The man and his son escaped the fire unharmed. Investigators are looking into what caused the fire. The search for a man suspected of kidnapping and sexual assault is over tonight after more than 2 months. Police arrested Justin Broomfield this morning. A woman told police Broomfield lured her from the bus stop to the yard of an abandoned house and assaulted her. She says it happened in Macomb back in October. The search took cops all the way to Long Beach, where they found him hiding with his family. He is now behind bars with $1 million bond. Happening tomorrow, gay marriage in Mississippi could be one step closer, Megan.
Well, Ryan, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals will hear arguments in New Orleans. They'll hear Mississippi's appeal, along with the same-sex marriage cases from Texas and Louisiana. In November, a federal judge ruled Mississippi's ban on gay marriage is unconstitutional. Those same-sex marriages are on hold while the state appeals. A new report puts Mississippi last in education. The report from Education Week's Quality Counts gives Mississippi a D for overall school performance. The state's also near the bottom of the list when it comes to spending among school districts, falling at number 41. But there is a bright spot. The report gives Mississippi a B rating in early childhood education. That means more students are participating in preschool programs. We have a road warning to pass along tonight. MDOT is shutting down I-55 and Gluckstadt Road in Madison for a half hour this weekend to demolish the old bridge over the interstate. And this work will happen Saturday night at 10 p.m. All traffic in the area will completely stop for half an hour while crews are working. They will work overnight to clear the debris, and they do plan to reopen all of those lanes by Sunday morning. Cosby's co-star giving her first TV interview on the Cosby controversy, what Felicia Rashad said in an ABC News exclusive. Plus, dragged 16 miles. A drive home turns terrifying for a family whose car got stuck under a truck. You're watching 16 WAPT live at 5.